Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Oh, man, I tell you what. It is a wrestling Sunday here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. A lot going on. David Difference, my friend. How about it?
Was it wrestling? Is that the term?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wrestling Sunday is, indeed, my friend, indeed.
Yeah.
The David difference. Oh, what a difference a Dave makes.
What is the difference? Give it to me.
Well, it depends on who you are. You know, I like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We won't talk about Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like post-Saturday night.
Right.
You were doing some wrestling, but yeah, who knows what's going on in the club.
Can I do something real quick?
Sure.
I may. It's Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
So I just want to give a quick shout out to all the mothers out there putting in the hard work on a day-to-day basis. Today's for you, and especially to the single mothers that's over there handling 2 jobs. You know, I appreciate you. Y'all beautiful people, and keep doing what you're doing. You are appreciated.
There you go.
And to my mama, who's tuning in today.
Really?
First time, man.
Wow. Now that's pressure.
Right.
You raised a good kid. Mama Difference.
There you go.
By the way, this is the Mark Hoke Show. We didn't even get to say that. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. And we're going to be bringing it all to you with a terrific show today. This one's going to be very interesting, to say the least. Because first, we have an in-studio guest.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Brian Ronovich is not here today. He's a little under the weather. That's okay. We'll survive. Joe DeFalco will be joining us second hour. But from Findlay Mazda, and if you've been at any wrestling event in Las Vegas, if you haven't seen this guy, you're not looking. You're not looking. And he's pretty darn good at selling cars, too, and taking care of everybody. Garth Wall, everybody. Garth, what's going on?
What's going on, gentlemen? Thanks for having me out. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, buddy. So welcome into your worst nightmare, the Mark Hoke Show.
No worries. I do, if I may, I want to kind of piggyback off what David said there for all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day. And that little shout out to a single mom. I was the product of a single mom fighting to raise 2 kids that gave her nothing but hell. So, Mom, I know I'm responsible for a few of those gray hairs in your head. Love you to death. Thank you for everything you did.
There you go.
Yeah, I know about that single parenthood myself because that's what I do.
Okay, don't make this about you, Mark.
So I'm just saying, I'm
Come on,
sympathetic to the cause.
Okay.
That is for sure, to say the least. But yeah, and second hour, and I'm very excited to bring this guy on because if obviously we're in a different world with the internet and being able to listen to whatever we want to, as opposed to when you used to be when you turned on the radio, you hoped you could get a signal from somewhere and catch maybe some of your favorite radio personalities. Well, we have one coming in from Austin, Texas, who I'm sure is going to be at AEW Dynamite this week. I could not imagine he's going to miss that. Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talk Wrestling, and, of course, he also does coverage for the University of Texas, a lot of their sports teams down there in Austin. So we're going to be welcoming him into the show, so that's going to be a great time. Got to meet him out at WrestleMania. Great guy. And thrilled to have him joining us as well. So that'll be fun. And you can catch them on, it's 104.9 FM, 101.9 FM, and 1260 AM. It is the Horn FM in Austin, Texas.
Nice.
So get ready for that. We're going to have a little Texas here in the great city of Las Vegas.
A little bit of Texas.
Yeah, a little bit of Texas.
Oh, damn, what'd I get into?
So this is going to be a great time, guys. So looking forward to covering everything here in pro wrestling. We've got Garth and Stu. So should be a pretty entertaining show today. And just to give you a little heads up in the next 2 weeks, guess who's coming in? We're going to be interviewing her before the show, but Tuesday on her publicity tour, Saraya, of course, for those of you WWE fans that haven't been following too tightly, formerly known as Paige, is going to be joining us. So we're going to get to talk to her, and we'll have that interview next Sunday's show. And 2 weeks from now, with our Cauliflower Alley Club segment, man, I'm almost scared to do this interview. I'm seriously.
Right.
I mean, a couple of boys from Allentown, kind of
Keep the furniture strapped down.
Yeah, and I thank God they're not in the studio because I heard they work a little stiff. The Nasty Boys, Sags and Knobs, are going to be joining us. Of course, they are the recipients of the 2023 Tag Team Award from the Cauliflower Alley Club this year, so they're going to be recognized at the CAC reunion here in Las Vegas, August 18th through the 30th, or 28th through the 30th, excuse me. So you can check that out, caulifloweralleyclub.org, get your membership in the club, and then, get your tickets for the banquets and everything, and you get to hang around with the Nasty Boys.
There you go. Garth, you a member of Cauliflower?
No, sir.
No?
Gotta get in that.
Yeah. What is it, $25?
$25.
You get in there, man, and it helps a great cause. But I'm signing up this year, so I'm not talking like, I've been a member
Okay,
for years.
so you're not trying to completely throw me out there?
Right.
Just under the front wheel, not the whole bus?
Right.
I will.
I'm under there with
I will. Both you guys, commercial break, go get your memberships.
There we go.
$25.
We'll do.
Yeah, and for those that don't know about the Cauliflower Alley Club, support's a great cause. What they do is they help out wrestlers and other members of the pro wrestling industry in case they fall on hard times. Because, a lot of guys, especially in the territory days, didn't have insurance. I mean, they just, every bill, something happened, they didn't get to whip a card out and say, here you go. They had to whip out the cash.
Right.
So a lot of guys.
Crazy glue dentistry.
Yeah.
Or just deal with it, not even whip out the cash.
Yeah.
Just like, it'll heal.
Yeah, so they've helped out a lot of guys. I know, like Hoke Beware and Bobby Heenan and so many other guys that they've supported over the years when they've hit a bad spot. So you really they bring us so much enjoyment, and if you took advantage of that, $25 to give back. That's it, $25 a year. So get on there and get your membership. Pretty cool stuff. Oh boy, but guys, I think I want to start in WWE this week.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
That big, beautiful gold belt. That sexy belt. That should be bronze.
Okay.
Because it is a bronze medal.
Damn.
Garth, those have been talking about already. The new World Heavyweight Championship. The tournament is underway, and we have a final set up for this week. For Night of Champions, as Raw and SmackDown have sent their representatives for a belt that is going to be on Raw, but somebody from SmackDown is going to be competing for it.
Right.
Which makes no sense, but okay.
Thank you. Garth, you know what? You'll be hired here pretty soon.
Yeah.
I like this. But we have a final as Seth Rollins survived Monday Night Raw. AJ Styles has gotten through on SmackDown. They will be wrestling at Night of Champions for that new belt. And, we just had a report come out, WWE, saying, hey, we're going to make this the big stress, and it's going to be the belt that everybody's going to want soon, and everybody's going to love it. I watched all the matches.
Mm-hmm.
And the matches were good, yes. Overall. I was a little surprised the Edge Mysterio match was kind of
snooze fest.
Yeah, there were just some goofy spots in there that just I don't know. It was kind of I don't know. They were trying, and Sheamus was in the other one. It was AJ, Edge, and Ray, and they were doing all these triple spots with rolling each other through a lot, and one would throw one and the other end up with the other one, and it was kind of, I don't know.
Well, I was a little surprised on that because I think that the story that I was thinking would play out would be Edge, how he talked about he wants to win it, and then once he lost, he's out of the business. That would have been a good story.
Yeah, one last little run, but I personally, I think that Finn Balor is way overdue after what happened to him with the Universal.
True.
I think they should. really came up, got his shine, and got hurt in that match. But I mean, they're fighting for a bastardized version of the Big Gold. So I mean,
yeah, I don't. You said they were trying to make this like the championship. I don't know how you make that the championship. Perception is everything, right?
I don't either. I mean, and at least to WWE's credit on Raw, they did have it go down to Seth and Finn, which was kind of cool. I mean, I give them credit. I mean, it's not like this thing's been badly booked in terms of who was in it. I mean, you had a list of who's who in there. Like on SmackDown, it was AJ, Edge, Ray, Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, Sheamus. Other than Theory, all former world champions. I mean that's an all-star lineup right there. And then when you went over to SmackDown or to Raw, and if you'll excuse me 1 second as my window disappeared for a moment. Let's see. We had Seth, Shinsuke, Damian Priest, Finn, The Miz, and Cody Rhodes. And, of course, Cody gets knocked out because of Mr. Lesnar not being real happy with him after
they're going to really slow burn the whole Cody thing, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan on this.
Really going to slow walk that. They've gotten a lot of crap for burning things too quick, and I think they're going to slow walk that pretty good. Yeah,
the rumor is that they're holding that off until WrestleMania 40. So that's next April, boys.
Yeah, time flies though.
Yeah. But we have a final with Seth and AJ, and to WWE's credit, two very prestigious wrestlers, two guys that whichever one of them ends up winning this championship will carry it well. I don't think there's any question about that, and I think people will be excited no matter which guy gets that title. But as you're already hearing from a couple of us, it's just this whole thing still just doesn't feel right to me, and I think that's why
it's got that taste in your mouth. That
it's like somebody gave me one of the mystery lollipop, and it was radishes.
What,
you know what I mean?
What would you like to see happen, Mark? In a Mark Hoke world.
All right, we're giving you the pencil.
What are you doing? They shouldn't have done this in the first place. And I actually put something up on Twitter about they should have split the championships again. That's what they should have done in the first place. Because now, I was wondering, does that mean they're going to merge the Universal title and the heavyweight champion, the WWE World Championship, and then make this, the new WWE title? But they didn't. There's still 3 belts out there. Roman Reigns came to SmackDown with the 2 titles. Right. So there are now technically 3 championships. And to me, here's the worst part about it. The one that's getting kind of cast aside on this is the one that has the lineage from the start of the WWF. And so how do you reconcile that? I mean, I guess as someone who's been a longtime wrestling fan, and all 3 of us have, that to me is taking the legacy of Bruno Sammartino and Pedro Morales and Bob Backlund and back to Hogan and Savage and the Ultimate Warrior and so on. And you're just kind of, it's gone. I mean, I don't get it. And then if you're gonna split, do you split those championships again at some point, and now you have 3 world champions? I don't know, guys. So Garth, I can tell you're ready to roll on this.
Well, like I was saying, it's going to what you were saying there. The lineage, when they first back in 2001, when they first acquired WCW, they brought in the Big Gold. And you had the WWE Championship and the World Championship.
Right.
I think that was a good move. But now, like you're saying, they're just. I don't know what the conversation is in the room, but they definitely are. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Bloodline, but I think it's time for some new faces to be put out in front. And let some of this younger talent, let some of these guys that have been around, get their shine for a moment, and then do what's right for the business. And let's bring up some of these new guys and see what the future holds instead of staying stuck in the past.
Dave, you heard everybody.
Yeah. I heard everybody.
Let's do it.
So we talk about lineage, right? I mean, I think a lot of the younger fans these days, they could care less about lineage or,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
But
right,
our
right.
history is what makes us what we are.
Oh, well, look at you.
Ooh.
That's right. The following
Garth
public
Wallace,
service
No,
Findlay,
I
Mazda,
believe
bring
that.
it.
I'm just telling you reality here. And then you talk about the younger guys. I would love to see some of the younger guys getting pushed and more developed storylines, into those future generations. So what do we got? We got Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Cool. But, I mean,
how much more does AJ have left in the tank?
right. And then also you look at Seth Rollins, who is super over and is always over, but there's so much young talent that could get a shot. I'd like to see Karrion get it go with something.
A lot of I read something on the internet. There's a lot of people throwing shade at Karrion.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying that this is why Vince let him go. And it's like they're saying that the only thing he has going for him is his entrance. And I'm like, there's so much more depth
right
to what he brings to the table.
I believe that. Well, you look at NXT, switching over to Karrion Kross there, you look at NXT, that was done well. That was good. Had they just carried that,
Right.
I mean, and made us,
instead of putting him in the pygmy outfit, make him look like
that,
something out of Mad Max.
Yeah. They put a lot of bad juju on him, and
Well, they killed
perception
him.
is everything.
They killed him
He
at the
had all
start.
the momentum, and they just literally pulled out the 12 gauge, shot him in the foot.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with Jeff Hardy right off the bat, losing in 2 minutes, getting rolled up in his first match, and you took all that momentum and just said, see ya.
Yeah, because he's definitely a guy that transcends the business. Like, he can do a lot of things, and like knowing him personally, you see this guy, and he's just a magical cat.
All you got to do is look up anything that he did in Lucha Underground as the White Rabbit, and watch the character that he carried out there. I think that if we can get Vince to shave his mustache and sit in the back and let guys that actually got in there. Vince has done a lot for the business. Don't get me wrong. He acquired it. He took it to the level that we see now. But his appearances as a wrestler were just kind of him stroking his ego, stuff like that. Same with his daughter and his son, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But you got guys now like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
You got the Triple H. You've got these guys that went up and down the road. As they say, give them the pencil. Let them do it. When Triple H was calling the shots across the board and Shawn Michaels was working NXT and Vince was, we started to see a resurgence.
True.
And this whole deal with, whatever with UFC and blah, 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 I don't know. I want to see if we could get back to what wrestling was. I want to see the 90s again. I want the Monday Night Raw, WCW Nitro War era back when you were excited to sit down in front of your TV.
Yeah, well, I think the internet, it's killed all that. Because now we're just watching clips, this and that. You had to watch the show and be there and sit there, and it was exciting, and
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that with Stu.
I digress.
No, that's okay. We're
I
gonna.
want to be able to watch Raw and take 3 hours instead of 30 minutes. I don't want to be fast forwarding through everything.
Right.
I agree. Well, hey guys, we got to get a commercial break in here, so we're gonna hit. Well, it's not a hard break, but we're just gonna go to it just for fun because, well, we
Gotta
really
pay the
have
bills.
to. Yes, we do. So when we come back, there's new challengers for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships.
Uh-oh.
Very interesting duo. Putting another duo in the corner because they were bad boys. We'll talk about that and so much more, like what's going on with AEW, television contracts, and ticket sales. So stick around, guys. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show is proud to announce our partnership with pro wrestling's premier charity, the Cauliflower Alley Club. For nearly 60 years, the CAC has stood strong, assisting members of the wrestling industry in their times of need. Please join us in supporting the Cauliflower Alley Club by becoming a member for just $25 a year or make an individual donation today. Go to caulifloweralleyclub.org and give back to the people that have brought us so much entertainment and joy in pro wrestling. Once again, that's caulifloweralleyclub.org.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. We are the Wrestling Radio Kings of Las Vegas. And you know what? Let's just say it, David Difference.
Yeah, the world.
The multiverse.
Okay. Oh, even bigger.
The
even
multiverse.
Bigger. Yeah. God told me to play bigger, man. I said the world. He said there's a universe. Multiverse.
Yeah. That means there's multiple U's. There's David Differences everywhere.
Nah, there's only one.
No, but there's multiple.
There's only one Mark.
Really?
Mark.
You've all merged into
a whole
one?
world full of Marks.
Yeah, I am the ultimate being.
you are we have the David Difference Nexus here in our multiverse, or our little pocket universe here. That's great.
Yeah, I'm the one.
Oh,
Thank you.
Congratulations. I feel bad for the other universes. They don't have a you.
Right.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it happens.
We've also got Garth Wall sitting in with us, wrestling fan extraordinaire, collector, and, of course, from Findlay, Mazda.
That's right.
Sales consultant and just overall awesome dude.
Located in the Valley Auto Mall, 7760 Eastgate Road.
Wow.
Go see him get Garth, man. You got, like, I've dealt with you a few times on these automobiles. I sent people to you numerous times, and, like, nothing but a great experience. I know that you take care of the people. You remind me of myself when I was selling cell phones, man. I'm all about the people, making sure they get what they want and get what they need, you know.
It really, and the big thing that I've liked is been able to help a lot of the workers here in the community, because I know these kids, you know, these young men and women out here in the Vegas area that are trying to break into the sport are busting their asses, driving from here to LA to make $40. Then they've got their 9 to 5, and it's just, we've got so much raw talent out here. Anything I could do to help them, you know, get to that next show or get to that next level, I'm absolutely down to do.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful thing, man. And I see your involvement in the community, the wrestling community. It's always been a beautiful thing. Love him or hate him, Garth is doing good for this community.
As long as you're talking about me, I don't care.
There you go. That's usually how it works.
Right.
Well, one thing that everybody's talking about after Friday Night SmackDown is the Usos got taken down a peg, didn't they?
Oh, man.
Just a few. Oh, good Lord. So Roman Reigns returneth to SmackDown with Solo Sikoa by his side, and the wise man Paul Heyman's out there, and the Usos come out with him, and the Usos are saying, "Hey, give us one more shot, Chief. We got it."
I mean, we saw everybody in the crowd had to see that coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
and well, the tribal chief says, Heyman says, "Yeah, we got this worked out," and so the Bloodline will be challenging for the undisputed tag team championships at Night of Champions. And it will be Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa as the Usos, who were forced to apologize to Roman and then don't get the chance. This is pretty interesting. And honestly, guys, this was one of the things that I had on Twitter. I kind of had a little thing that I had written up where I had the Usos costing Roman one of the titles. And then Roman was so mad that he and Solo challenged the Usos the next day for the tag team titles and took them off them, then created a new bullet on Cody Rhodes. But that's another story.
Right. I like that.
But the thought on this, guys, that the possibility that the tribal chief and Solo win the tag titles and Roman could be walking around with 3 belts. What'd you think of this, guys? David, I'll throw this at you first. Your thoughts on this challenge at Night of Champions?
I love it. Absolutely love it. I think that, a lot of people, they talk about, the Bloodline, we've seen enough. Roman Reigns, we've seen enough. It's the best thing going. And they keep adding layers and layers on top of it. So, that's the storyline right there. I think, I want to see that. This is a match I want to see. Do I want to see the Usos versus them again? Not really. But I like the way this thing is playing out, and I'm a huge fan of what's happening right now.
Yeah, what'd you think, Garth?
Personally, I want to see Solo hit his breaking point with Reigns berating his brothers and have the little Luke Skywalker moment with Darth Vader and the evil Emperor, and just have his breaking point and watch him turn on his master and become the new head of the table. But then again, Solo's a friend, so I want to see him at top.
Well, I love that, but I think there's so many possibilities, right, of what can happen.
I don't know. I was always a huge fan, and we miss him all the time, of Umaga, and I really think that they have really done well by Solo and what they've. I don't know how I felt about the whole Street Fighter vibe when he was first at NXT, but they brought him up as the enforcer, and just listening. I mean, Heyman's got one of the best mouthpieces in the business. And there was that one. They did a promo a while back where Heyman all of a sudden just yells. You just hear him yell Solo, and all of a sudden he just pops. It just, I don't know. I get goosebumps every time I see Solo doing well. I get goosebumps.
Yeah. No, definitely a hometown favorite here. But I think that this is an example. We always bash on the writing, and this is something where every character is playing their role to a T. And the endless possibilities of what could happen with this crew here. And then we're all still when is The Rock going to come in? And there's so much that
is Rock going to be the nucleus that blows it up?
Right. Yeah.
Or is Rock going to come in and be the puppet master behind? Bring in heel Rock.
Right. There's so many possibilities.
See, I'll be honest with you. I don't want The Rock in this.
What?
No, I don't. I think you've got enough good characters there. You don't need him to get this through. And the thing is, if a lot of people want Rock to come in and win the titles. I'm like, well, what good's that going to do? Because now you got Rock as the champ, who's a part-time guy who's never going to be able to show up because he's acting. The time's passed.
Well, imagine Rock comes in. I mean, that is a moment. That's a WrestleMania thing. So it doesn't need it for that to happen, but that's a WrestleMania thing. Because often, what do? They're going to squash it, and everybody goes their separate ways. They have this beef, and then it just dissipates. You bring in The Rock, he could win the title and say, I'm too busy. They unify the title, so there's only one belt now. And, relinquish it. So now you have a tournament for that title. And, I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen.
Now, that would be a way out.
Just bring him in kind of as a mentor, puppet string pull. I mean, you don't know.
Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
We had to make a Star Wars reference. There you go.
The Wizard of Oz, the guy behind the green curtain. I don't know.
That would be interesting. But, and just to wrap this up, should Reigns and Solo win the titles at Night of Champions? What do you think?
I would like to see it. I'm not a fan of Owens and Zayn. I'm not. I mean, I respect them, but a viewership, no. Let's get the belt. Let's give them all the belts to the Bloodline, and let's just run with it. I'm with that.
Garth's laughing.
No,
win or lose?
I think they should win, but there's a couple things that come into that mindset. Like I said, I like the Bloodline. I'd like to see others come up, but I'm just going to go back to I'm going to support my local folk. Put the belt on Solo. I don't care who's got the other one. They can put the other one on Michael Cole for all I care.
Right.
Oh,
just give Solo.
Oh, you'd care.
No, I'd like to get his come up inside. I don't care.
Right.
Oh God, I couldn't imagine. But this whole thing, of course, I think is they're clearly trying to wrap this whole thing up with Jay from way back in 2020, and I'm still torn on whether I want Jay to be the one to end this or Cody Rhodes to get the belts off of Roman. But this is going to be interesting, and I got to give Jay and Jimmy a lot of credit. I think they did a pretty good job in that promo too, and yeah, we'll see how all that turns out. It's going to be a lot of fun night at Champions. So now we've got Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are going to be wrestling that. We've got that tag match. And then also at Night of Champions, I know we've got one more match announced, and I am trying to find it here quickly. There we go. No, there we went. And I apologize.
That's totally Memorial Weekend, yeah, too, as well?
Yeah. I mean,
so that whole weekend is stacked with wrestling.
This is going to be an absolutely huge weekend coming up for everybody.
Isn't that overseas, though?
Yeah.
Is this one?
Night of Champions?
Oh, yeah, so that's going to be on in the daytime. And I apologize. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
So Cody and Brock are going to have their fight.
Yeah, that'll be a good pay-per-view right there.
Yeah, so we got 3 pretty good matches on that. And actually, believe it or not, more matches scheduled there so far than Double or Nothing for AEW, which is pretty crazy. And, of course, that's going to be coming to town here on the Sunday Memorial Day weekend. And I know we're going to all get there one way or the other, guys. Yeah. I promise. We're going to figure that out.
You heard it here. He promised.
We're going to work on that.
Front row.
Now, I didn't say that. I did not say that. But
I'm part of the in the building crowd, and on big events like that, just get me in the building. I don't care. Put me in the nosebleed seats. I don't care. Just let me be a part of it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some of the stuff going on with AEW when we come back from our break. But I do have a suggestion for everybody when Double or Nothing comes to town. You know what we all should do? Everybody?
Here we go eat.
Yes.
Drum roll.
I think we should go eat. And I think we should head over to Unique Eats at 3100 South Durango. You can have a terrific breakfast, great pastas, lunches, sandwiches, award-winning pizzas from celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco. I mean, it's a terrific place. They're now serving beer and wine. You got a smoothie and coffee bar over there, too. And I'm going to tell you, the best service you're going to get. I mean, they are fantastic over there. You will absolutely love it. And if you're driving around Las Vegas right now, get your tails over there and grab something to eat. It's Unique Eats, 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. And if you want to check out their menu, you can get catering from them, too. Phone number 702-992-3038, 702-992-3038, uniqueeatslv.com. All right, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Double or Nothing a little bit. Here, the ticket sales are a little bit light. That's pretty interesting. And a whole lot more with that coming up here on the Mark Hoke Show. So stick around, gang. We got a whole lot more of pro wrestling news and entertainment. And Stu Myrick from The Horn in Austin, Texas, joined us in the second hour. So stick around, everybody. We will be right back. Tired of the same boring food when you're out for breakfast or lunch? I'm Mark Hoke, and I have an idea for a different place to go with unique food you're sure to enjoy, and that's Unique Eats. Take some time out of your busy day and stop on in to Unique Eats, featuring celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco and his friendly staff. Whether it's a great start to your day with one of Unique Eats' amazing omelets or lunch with his incredible sandwiches, pasta, and award-winning pizzas, you'll be in for a fantastic dining experience that won't break the bank. Unique Eats also features a smoothie bar and full vegetarian menu as well. Plus, if you need catering, you can count on Unique Eats no matter what the occasion. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to Unique Eats at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100, open daily until 3 p.m. Call them at 702-992-3038 or visit uniqueeatslv.com for their full menu and catering info. Break out of the same old routine and have a great meal at Unique Eats today.
In a kayfabe world, LasVegasWrestlingScene.com brings you the real story. Las Vegas Wrestling Scene is the source for pro wrestling news, along with their up-to-date events calendar. Visit LasVegasWrestlingScene.com.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, and let's keep it rolling here on the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on 101.5 FM KDAWN and streaming on that Odyssey app around the planet. And we certainly do appreciate all of you, whether you're listening in Las Vegas or, of course, checking us out on the Odyssey app, or, checking out our videos on YouTube and, podcasts on markhokeshow.podbean.com, or follow us on social media at Mark Hoke on Twitter or Mark Hoke Show on Twitter and Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and Instagram, Mark Hoke Show. We're all over the place, man.
All over the place. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Brian Ronovich, man. I saw him last night. We had a great conversation, and I'm sad, man, that he's not here today.
Yeah. Well, Brian will be back next week.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he will. So
Rub some dirt on, Brian. You'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Well, we got the David Difference and, of course, Garth Wall from Findlay Mazda here in Las Vegas. Buy a car from this dude. Seriously.
Buy 2.
Buy 5. Why not? Go for it. Get a fleet.
Max out.
Buy 2, get the third one full price.
There you go. That's perfect. Yeah, pop up. I have the Findlay Mazda site open up. There's a smiling young gentleman in a chat box saying, "Welcome to Findlay Mazda. How may assist you today?"
Say, type in, "I want to get Garth." See how it responds.
Tell us about that Garth Wall
I'm gonna
guy.
have to try that one.
Yeah, see what it says.
So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in AEW before we wrap this first hour up. A lot of good things happening with those guys. One thing that I'm curious about that's kind of affecting us locally here. First, 65,000+ ticket sales for AEW All In Wembley Stadium. So that show is headed to being a success. They have not announced a match on that card yet. That's coming up in the end of August.
Mm-hmm.
65,000 tickets sold. So I think everybody can kindly say to Tony Khan, yeah, you did okay. Still not a sellout. Obviously they can get to 90,000 on that.
What was we were just talking about that during the break. What was the SummerSlam numbers?
Oh, the Wembley? Yeah, Wembley was around 90-ish.
Was it around 90?
Yeah. Well, knowing WWE's inflated numbers, it's probably like 80 or 85. But
70.
Well, you said it, I didn't, Garth Wall.
It said 80,355. That is a disputed total for SummerSlam 1992.
Did you say disputed total?
Yeah. In parentheses.
Yeah, so some good news there for AEW, some more good news for AEW. They are apparently going to be announcing on Wednesday their new TV contract. Oh. And guys, they may be making a lot of money off this. Their current contract, fellas, that is paying them around, let's see, I believe it was $175 million a year, somewhere in that ballpark. They are now talking that this next deal, I think it's a 3-year deal that could pay them up to $300 million a year.
What network?
Same Warner Brothers Discovery. So that was why, remember, last week AEW had pulled Dark and Elevation off YouTube, but apparently because that Warner Brothers wants this to be everything they do to be exclusive with them. So that's apparently why Dark and Elevation are East-Wa. But yeah,
East-Wa, is that French?
Yes, that is French.
Okay.
East-Wa.
What does it mean specifically?
That means Goombye.
Okay. Is that Italian?
Hasta luego.
Oh, okay.
See you later. Auf Wiedersehen.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, can we talk about how Ted Turner must feel?
Who?
Exactly.
Right.
At one point, he was in the process of trying to put the WWE out of business, spending all his money. Now he's paying another company $175 million to put their programming on his network.
Right. Didn't they push Turner out? Like, hasn't Turner been pushed out?
Just the company. I mean, just
yeah.
as a shareholder.
It's still his name, yeah.
Oh.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute. You couldn't do it with our money, but now we're going to pay some. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
Yeah.
That's a little rough. But AEW also did announce that they will be starting that Saturday show, Collision. I believe the debut date on that is going to be June 12. Apparently, and by the way, it's been dubbed the Second Coming. I wonder what that means. June 17th, excuse me, the date on that. That'll be in the United Center in Chicago. I wonder who's showing up.
Let's see. Doink. Let's see.
No, not Doink.
Gobbledygooker?
No,
there we go. Yes, Bastion Booger, bring him down.
Right.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy will be there, everybody.
Who knows?
Now, apparently CM Punk will be returning on that show. But, real quick.
They had to give him his own show because all the heat on the other one.
Yeah, well,
right.
It's funny because when I've been reading a lot of stories that they're kind of, that the Bucks and Omega and Punk still have not buried the hatchet on this, and apparently there's legal reasons still going on that they really can't interact or talk about each other that much. So apparently they're keeping Punk kind of away from the boys a little bit. That's pretty interesting, but apparently CM Punk is going to be returning on that June 17th Collision show. But let me ask you this real quick. Saturday night, guys. Mm-hmm. Saturday night. Do you think it's a good idea?
Saturday night is a bad night for TV because a lot of people are out shaking, moving. But Saturday mornings is where it needs to be. Get your cereal. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We always talk about this, but I would watch the Superstars, and then a little later, in the afternoon on TBS was the
World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah. So it was just like that was my day.
Laying on the carpet in front of the TV with a bowl of cereal.
Yeah. Cocoa Puffs.
Super Sugar Crisp.
Can we go back to that? I think at end of the day, we all just want to be kids again. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that'd be fair.
I am. My wife calls me a man-child. Yes.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we're going to be seeing more of AEW on Saturdays, apparently. But yeah, I wish it was on Saturday morning. I just think it's a better time. And apparently WWE is said they're going to, quote, retaliate. What are they going to do?
Oh, with a different show?
Yeah, come on. Just let it go, man. That's stupid.
Yeah. Well,
you don't need to do it. I mean, you can throw a pay-per-view on Saturday. That's fine. Do that. No, but there's so much going on Saturday nights. Why would you waste your time counter-programming that show? I mean, that just seems stupid to me, but I don't know.
Right. I mean, you're looking at all this wrestling, then you got to battle with the neighborhood discoteca, everybody out there in the clubs, here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's just a bad night. But there'll be people watching, so we'll see what happens with that. But one thing that we may be a little concerned about coming up is people watching Double or Nothing here in Las Vegas, because I don't know what you guys are doing out there, but not a whole ton of tickets sold for this thing yet.
What are we looking at?
Right now, according to WrestleTix, over the last month, they only sold 222 tickets, taking the total up to 6,807.
Wait, 68,000?
6,800.
No, you got to be talking 68,000.
No.
We're talking about
Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing here in Las Vegas in 2 weeks at the T-Mobile.
I'm not buying that number.
I'm surprised at that number too, because I got on Ticketmaster, and unfortunately I couldn't see the little dots.
Okay.
But it's currently set up, according to WrestleTix, it's currently set up to hold 9,872, and they're saying that the total tickets sold as of May 7th was 6,807. So, gang, what are you doing? Get out there, man.
Are you saying 9,000 for this is T-Mobile Arena, yeah?
Yeah, the last year they had 13,000 in there.
Okay.
So right now they're way behind
seems
that.
A little light for T-Mobile.
It does.
But I was at that show, and I'll tell you what, the fans stayed put until the lights came on.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, we went to SmackDown when they were back in town here recently, and it's like as soon as the last pin was made, the bell rang, everybody just got up, and it was like a wedding reception. Everybody just left.
Yeah.
It was just...
Yeah,
they did the dark match.
It was a long show. It was a really long show,
well,
but it was fun.
First match was way, way too long, but I digress.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's the thing. I could tell you that the match went, I think, 20-something minutes.
Who was it?
It was Cody versus somebody and Cody was getting ready to challenge for the belt, and this guy ran him for 30 minutes. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I'm blanking on that, but yeah, so dang, plenty of time to get out and get tickets for AEW Double or Nothing. So don't wait, get them. In case that number's wrong too, but we'll find out. Hey, we've got another hour of pro wrestling news and entertainment coming up for you on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll get Joe DeFalco in here, and also coming up, Stu Myrick from the Horn in Austin, Texas. He's going to be, I'm sure, getting ready to go to AEW Dynamite down there. So we'll get to talk to him about his feelings about what's happened with AEW and how much fun it's going to be to go to a pretty loaded Dynamite show coming up this week. Hey, make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Download those podcasts, markhokeshow.com. We got the YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show, Instagram, Mark Hoke Show. We're all over the place. And go to markhokeshow.com to keep track of everything. Stick around, everybody. One more hour coming up. We will be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.